This video is brought to you by Ryan Harrison and his book, Inside the Bubble. You've heard me speak of it. He supports my channel. He has for a long time. If you're considering buying a home in the Villages, I implore you to get this book. There's more information in here than you can imagine. The recent updated book that came out a few months ago, so some of the information in there that was outdated, he has updated all that information. So go to www.insidethebubble.co/skip and receive a $10 discount. Go to the description box below. The address and the link is there. Just click on it. It'll take you there. And you won't be disappointed. Let's get on with the video. Wrong way driver caught on video zipping down Buena Vista Boulevard. Yeah, they shows a picture of him there. He's in a roundabout. I don't know why people would want to turn left in a roundabout. I don't know any roundabout anywhere in the United States that you turn left on to go around it. You always go right and go around it. But for some reason, there's a handful of people that'll come into a roundabout and they want to go to some place right there on the left. So instead of going around the roundabout where they can exit right, they turn left in a roundabout and they meet head-on traffic. So it happens. Beware, beware, beware when you're down here in the wintertime. Ambulance struck after responding to crash in roundabout in the Villages. I'll tell you what, sometimes it's a circus down here. Ray-Ban sunglasses bandit strikes at second eyewear business in the Villages. District official explains decision to move Larry the alligator out of Brownwood Pond. I can almost tell you why. Two reasons. One is there is a specific length, I believe, that an alligator's got to go. They won't let an alligator get to be like a monster. And that's if he behaves well. And by that I mean, as long as he's not roaming around a lot, as long as he's not getting close to people, as long as he's not a threat, they pretty much just leave him alone. But here's what happens, and Larry is a victim of this kind of. People want to feed him. And I don't know why they do that. You shouldn't be feeding any wild animal. Well, you know what I mean. If you got a bird feeder, who cares? And actually, you probably shouldn't do that. But I'm just trying to be lenient. Larry will kill you, and Larry will eat your children. So the idea of going out there with your half-eaten McDonald's hamburger and throwing it out there, trying to get Larry to come closer to the fence so you can get a better picture, is really asinine. And yeah, there's a handful of people that do that. So Larry got a little too friendly, and he didn't show fear of people. Now, the video you saw of Larry walking across the golf cart path is because on the other side of that golf cart path is a swamp. There's a female alligator over there, been over there for years. That's Larry's girlfriend. He goes over there during breeding season. And breeding season, I pretty much think it's mostly the month of April and May is when it starts. And he goes over there until she's had enough of him, and she sends him back out of there. And he goes back over to his pond on the other side of the golf cart path, and that's where he pretty much stays until the next year. And he's never really bothered anybody. But yeah, somebody I think's been feeding Larry. District Manager Richard Byer said a decision was made to relocate Larry to Gator Land in Orlando after District Property Management received reports of him beginning to become too comfortable around people. He said they also had received reports of some residents feeding the large alligator, which is illegal in the state of Florida. People were just getting a little too close to him. People, don't be doing this. I mean, you guys are mad because they take Larry out, and you're the reason why they took Larry out. Larry's popular around here, though. I'm just reading it real quick. I'm skipping through here. It says Larry has his own Facebook page and is immensely popular with villagers. Recently was featured in a video walking across the golf cart path near his Brownwood pond. You all can find that video on YouTube. So anyway, without getting crazy about it, there used to be a sign down there on the fence also, and the sign said, "Hi, I'm Larry the Alligator." And it has his Facebook address and everything on this sign. Well, when they took him out, put him down in Orlando at the alligator farm down there, they took the sign with them. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that? It's very clear. So they put the sign on the fence. And they give a report saying anybody from the villages that comes down there, that if we want to see Larry, all we have to do is tell somebody there at the park, and they will actually go out and find Larry and point him out to us. I guess it's just to show us that Larry is still alive and kicking. My joke about all of it is, I told Sue, I said, if you went down there and found Larry, I said, would you recognize him? I would. 81-year-old driver to be retested after crashing into front of popular restaurant. It looks like Chefs of Napoli over here. Looks like some old duffer drove his car through the front window. Seniors versus crime. Officials urge villagers to check out companies before doing business. Yeah, don't be doing business with these guys come knocking on your door. First of all, soliciting business in the villages is against the rules here. They're not allowed to come knocking on your door and bugging you and selling you stuff. So if they do that right away, you just need to tell them to get out. I do. I have no hesitation about it. I tell them straight up front, you can't solicit around here. I'm just passing out cards. That's soliciting. Move on down the road. And then I go in and I call Community Watch. They will send a truck out right away to find this person knocking on doors and tell them they got to go. Duke 2, man reports license plate stolen from vehicle while parked at veterinarian's office. Village of Tamarind Grove resident claims he was singled out over a little white cross. No, you're not. They do the same thing in my village. I'm in Hillsboro, and they've told people with them little white crosses, you got to take them out. It has nothing to do with religion, has nothing to do with nothing. You're just trying to make it something. You're not allowed to have yard ornaments, and they consider that as a yard decoration. I don't know if you can go to any kind of a council meeting and argue that point. I don't know, but they're not singling you out. Couple wins another extension in fight to keep out of compliance driveway. What this is, this guy is a Purple Heart recipient. His wife has a lot of, I guess, medical issues and has a hard time walking or getting in and out of a car and has to get in a wheelchair, I guess, a lot, or maybe a walker. So what he done, he has a patio villa, so what he done, he went on each side of the driveway and he added, I don't know, so much concrete on each side, because when she opens her door, it gives her more room to get in the wheelchair without one wheel being in the grass and one wheel being, I guess, like on the asphalt. And that's out of compliance. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to add concrete without ARC approval. And so they've gave him, this is another extension they're giving him. I don't know, you know. I can see what they're saying. You know, if we could just pick out one person, and this guy would deserve it, saying, you know, cut him a break. You know, leave him alone. They're elderly, and she's having enough trouble. Just, you know, let him go. But here's the problem. If you say it's okay for this person, then everybody in District 8, it's okay for everybody. And so where do you want to draw the line? And I'm just glad I'm not the guy that has to make these decisions. Woman jailed after car hits fire hydrant and then falls into hole 8 feet deep. She was arrested on a DUI charge after her car hit a fire hydrant, creating a hole 20 feet wide and 8 feet deep. That's going to cost you. Survey work at Morris Island could begin to shed light on degradation at embankment. That's that bridge on Morris Boulevard that they got to shore up. And I'm still in the dark on that, is why villagers, us homeowners here from 466 South have to pay for that. 466 North does not pay for that. But yet 466 North people can drive over it. Everybody living in Sumter County can drive over it. Everybody living anywhere in the state of Florida can drive over that bridge. So I just don't understand, why are the people in 466 and further south paying for this bridge? Why isn't the Sumter County chipping in? And I don't understand. I just don't get it. I mean, I know there's certain rules about about the villages and how we set things up in districts and whatever. I just wish I understood more about this, because I don't think this is being done right. Bikini-clad woman arrested in villages, hires attorney to handle another bathing suit case. A 33-year-old intoxicated woman who was wearing a bikini when she was arrested last month in the villages has hired an attorney who also handled another high-profile drunken bathing suit arrest. Man, I bet these attorneys are proud to know that he's building up a reputation. Sumter County registered sex offender arrested in theft of a vehicle. A 55-year-old Sumter County registered sex offender has been arrested in the alleged theft of a former roommate's stolen vehicle. Villager sentenced after arrest at mail station in villages of Santiago. 71-year-old villager has been sentenced after his arrest last year at the postal station in the village of Santo Domingo. Ted Cavillo, 71, of Inez Lane, was arrested November 29th when his gray Hyundai Accent was stopped 4 feet in front of a stop bar at the intersection of Cazares Avenue and Enrique Drive, according to an accident report from Sumter County Sheriff's Department. The deputy noted the scent of an alcohol beverage coming from inside the car and noticed the driver had speech that was slow and slurred as he was trying to tell me the car was a rental. Well, I ain't gonna read all that. He was sentenced on a DWI or DUI, one of them. 79-year-old villager who will lose a license after blacking out before crash. Okay, let me go back to another newsreel that I found here a while back. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I couldn't even find that guy's email. Lady Lake's new chief of police will hold meet and greet at town hall. Talk about the villages having an appalling black mark. Let me see if I can bring this up. Having lived here 10 years, this is the title of the letter. I think it's a letter some lady sent in to the developer. Appalling black stains success of the villages. Having lived here for 10 years, we have all seen the village's growth skyrocket, very heavily lining the, well, it says pickets, but pockets of the developer. Good for them. But only good if they keep up with the growth concerning hospital care. We all hear stories again and again about villagers' negative experiences at the village's hospital. Many of my friends feel the need to drive out of our bubble if hospitalization is necessary. There is no imaginable reason for this to have to be this way. Messages to the village's developers and owners, this is an appalling situation, a black mark on their real success. We villagers deserve an outstanding hospital experience in America's friendliest hometown, which is no longer a small town and more like a big city. Pour a little of those millions you rake in to invest in more nursing care, top-notch doctors, and an an emergency room that isn't treating us as we all well deserve. Wait times in the ER and for being transferred to a hospital bed from the ER are unconscionable. Shame on you as you sit back and reap all the money pouring into your pockets on a daily basis. Show us you really care. It's way overdue. Paulette Lebowitz. I agree with you, Paul. I ain't going to even argue about that. I've done video about it, but apparently 90% of the people here doesn't really care. They know the problems. They see them when they're here. I guess they figure, kind of like I do, that there's nothing they can do. Other than complain, you can't force anybody to do anything. But you're right. He's making millions and millions of dollars a year, him and his family and the company. They're all worth over $1 billion a piece now in this family with all the wealth that they have here. And good for them. That's the American way. Good for them. But when I go to the hospital with a broken arm during snowbird season, and I sit in that waiting room for 4 hours to see a doctor, to me, that's just unheard of. That just doesn't happen where I come from. And to be in an emergency room with any kind of a serious problem, and to lay in there for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours before they finally come up with a room, or they wheel you out in the hallway because they don't have a room, that's just unheard of. And, you know, I'm sorry, but there's some hospitals here that I know does a great job. Leesburg does a great job when it comes to heart trouble. I know that for facts. I've seen it. They got a cancer clinic up at the Morris building, Sharon Morris building. They do a pretty good job. They do radiation treatments, chemotherapy up there, all kind of testing up there, bone density. I did a video on that too, but I've learned a little bit more about that place. They do a good job. But the Villages Hospital, there's a serious problem there. And then the more people that keep buying here, that just creates a bigger problem. And they're talking about building this hospital over by Brownwood. Well, I don't know if that's going to do much good or not. I mean, it may, hopefully it does, but I don't know. I've got my doubts myself. But I can tell you that I do agree with you. There is a problem here with the medical facilities. Just like everything else around here in the wintertime, it's just a problem. Traffic's a problem. Service sometimes is a big problem at restaurants and whatever. Getting contractors to come to your house, getting anything done around here in the wintertime, it happens, but it just takes a while. So, no, I can't argue with you. I think you're 100% correct. We got a problem with medical facilities here, and you can't force somebody to spend their money. I can't force you to buy something. We can't force him to buy something. So, it is what it is. Hopefully, it'll get better. I guess we'll see. So I'm going to get out of here. That's the news. I hope this new system here kind of works out. Now, I want to thank my Patreon members. Because of them, I've come up with a wireless system where I can walk around. I don't have to be right next to the camera. The microphone's right here, and hopefully everything sounds okay. I'll play with it to get everything working just right, and we'll see how it works out. So until then, see you on the other side.